How can we build our own legacy or become what I'm referring to as a legacy leader? I put together my own top 10. They're in no particular order. I'm just going to talk about them briefly. And this combines the research that I've been doing in the area of trends, as well as generational things, as well as global research. So it's kind of a little bit of everything combined for purposes of sharing these with you today. One, the first one. To leave a legacy, you need to work hard at making the work of others easier. Excuse me. Now, let me make one thing clear. When I'm talking about a legacy, I'm not talking about something that's like a 401k or something you do in your last will and testament. To me, a legacy is something you do from day one in every situation. Many of you in this room have left your mark on many others in this room. That's the legacy you've left. You've been touched by others as well. So again, a legacy to me is something that is done all the time. It's part of a daily way of thinking. And part of it is to make everybody else around you have a more productive and more beneficial time. Secondly, the legacy leaders are distinguished from others because they are faster and better and smarter at surrounding themselves with people who are faster, better, and smarter than you are. Let me go back for a second. I'm going to make this into a little running tally in your own heads. Barack Obama will be inaugurated in about 10 days. Doesn't have a track record yet. But there are some qualities that you may think he has or does not have, regardless of your politics. As I go through these 10, I'd like you to just think in your own mind, how many of these does Obama seem to manifest or seem to have mastered or seem to be lacking in? These are the 10 that I've found to be the most consistent. So in your own mind, just maybe keep count on your fingers. Or is one of these, two of these, three of these, whatever. Does he seem to work hard at making the work of others easier? I'm not going to ask for a show of hands or anything now, but just mentally does. So, okay, so that's number one. So I'm going to pose this in the form of Obama. Is he faster, better, smarter at surrounding himself with people who seem to be faster, better, smarter, better and brighter, best and brightest than he is? Number three, make plenty of face time so that you can be both available and accessible. Do you think he does that? Let me give you the technical distinction between available and technical. Available and accessible. Available is to put on your door, I have office hours between 8 and 10 a.m. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. That's available. Accessible is that during those hours, your door is actually open. And you welcome the people who come to see you during your office hours. Or I have seen it in business and in academia, where there will be time set aside and a place set aside, and you walk by that space or that office, and the person you're there to see has their back to you, and they're working at their desk. So, the ability to be both available and accessible. Do you think you can see that quality in Obama? Here's a tough one. Look for your successor from day one. On a new job, in a new city, in a new role. How many of us do that? Not too many. I personally believe, and I'm not a political person, I've been a registered independent my entire life. But I personally think that in this case, the first sort of major decision that Obama had to make was the vice presidential choice versus the one that McCain made, ended up being very telling in terms of the final tally. I'm trying to be politically correct. but, but I have friends who are very strong McCain supporters who ended up not feeling as strongly, though still voting for John McCain. But the decision you make as to who your successor is happens daily. I know the best professors I had were the ones that seemed to me to always be working with students and younger students to bring them up, to make them part of a lineage, part of a family, part of a community going forward. Fifth, settle in to your role, your position as a leader, but never settle down. Being insatiably curious is one of the significant things that I've always found in the research I've done on leaders. So again, do you see something, some element of curiosity in Obama? Use time management and recuperation management skills simultaneously. In other words, if you don't have some kind of a balance in your life, that's a sure recipe for burning out, illness, and a short stay at whatever you're doing. So, do you see things in the way Obama runs his life in terms of priorities, finding ways of balancing your time frame in any given day? One of my biggest